Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Emma. I'm a group online fitness coach and nutrition specialist. Today's mini vlog is all about planning and producing my 2025 vision board. The whole idea of this vlog is to show you the process I went through in creating my vision board for this year and maybe give you a couple of little tips about how you could go about creating yours or some other different ideas. But before I go any further, we just need to remember that vision boards are completely personal to ourselves. So what's on mine will not be what's on yours necessarily. But I'm really hoping this mini vlog will be a little bit helpful for you. Something that really helped me with this process was I'm currently actually listening to the audiobook of Manifest by Roxie Nafousi. And she actually talks about creating a vision board as one of her 7 steps in the book, and I listened to this kind of halfway through the process of doing my vision board, and it allowed me to go back, make some changes and add things in and change the way I was approaching the vision board for it to be a little bit more effective, which was amazing. So definitely recommend that book. If you haven't got time to read it, the audiobooks on Apple Books and all the other Kindle and everything. So I actually was listening to that having my nails done the other day, so that worked really well. The main thing for me, the main starting point, was before I did this year's vision board, I wanted to review the vision board I did last year. Now, last year I was lucky enough to attend an event with a local women's group called Gather and Grow to create my vision board. It was a lovely evening. They got it all set up and we could all create our vision boards for the year ahead and have a drink, have a chat. We even got some chips. And Danielle and Siobhan created such a lovely environment, and I created the vision board and it's been up on my wall in my office all this year. Now, I haven't constantly referred back to it, but I've always been aware it's there and I'd have a quick glance and different things. And even though I haven't gone back to it, I can't believe how much of that vision board I've actually ticked off in the last 12 months. So the first thing I did was actually review in detail last year's vision board, and I went through with a red pen, as you'll see, and I made notes on all the visions or the things I'd manifested, and if I'd met them or how I'd met them, or if I hadn't, what I was going to do to make sure I could achieve them in the future. So here is last year's vision board, which I did at an event with Gather and Grow. And I just picked out like loads of keywords, and I was looking on building new relationships within my business, which I did later in the year, and did joint boot camps with Gather and Grow. I did a good gut guide with Lisa at Beauchamp Skin and Beauty. I kept aiming for what I wanted to do. I said I was going to do this. I passed my level 2 in fitness instructing and in nutrition. Believed in me. I started putting really healthy habits in and doing daily things for me with my workout. I got to the fittest and the slimmest that I'd been for a long time. I set myself a goal of my online fitness coaching, and by Christmas I had 25 clients and counting who are all achieving amazing results. So as you can see, I kind of went through with the red. I wanted to share my knowledge, and I'm starting to do that now with my YouTube channel, on my podcast and on my Instagram. So yeah, there's still things I want to work on. So the calmest version of me and the less stressed, and that's something I still wanted to work on. I did make me a priority, and these are the ways I did it. I had made sure I had my self-care done regularly, and I made times every day to work out for me. So yeah, this was last year's, and then I'm going to talk you through. Now we've reviewed last year's vision board, I was ready to get started, and I was ready for this kind of fresh start. In the Manifest book, Roxie talks about the importance of being in the right zone to visualize, so being able to concentrate on what you really want to visualize on your vision board and creating the correct mood. She suggests listening to a guided meditation beforehand, looking at visualizing and creating a peaceful, focused environment. And I have to admit, when I first started this year's vision board, I did it in the living room with my husband and the dogs while the kids were in bed, and he got the football on really loud, and I wasn't necessarily as, I don't know the way to describe it best, but I wasn't probably manifesting or visualizing as much as I could have because I got so much going on around me. So the second day I went back to do this, I put on some music. I think I was listening to Benson Boone, and I sat on my own. The kids were at school, my husband was at work, and I was a lot more, not creative. I manifested much deeper, and I was more specific about what I wanted, and I was willing to dream that little bit bigger because I was really focused on it. So I definitely think it's important to make sure you've got that right frame of mind and you're ready to do, and you're in a peaceful environment on your own, because like I said, your vision board probably is really personal to do. Now, you can do it with friends and you can discuss it, and that works really well, and it worked really well for me last year because I got to discuss my ideas with other people. So there is that, but just make sure it's a peaceful environment even if you're with other people. That's my big recommendation for that. So another thing Roxie mentions in the Manifest book is about removing self-doubt. Now, I actually listened to this part of the audiobook after I'd done my vision board, and I wish I'd listened to it beforehand, because if we remove self-doubt, it allows us to dream that little bit bigger. I found the words now. And don't limit what you're visualizing, what you're manifesting. And an example of this for me was I was about to write down finish the year with 10,000 followers. Now, I'm only on 400 and something at the minute, so 10,000 seemed really big, and I actually crossed it out and wrote 5,000 instead. And that was me being like doubting myself and doubting getting there, and I shouldn't have been like that. And had I have listened to the audiobook before doing my vision board, I'd have gone for the 10,000 plus, I think. So that's something to really worth considering. Don't doubt yourself, dream big, and that's the whole idea of these vision boards. The other thing is, remember, a vision board hasn't got to be for just a year. You could create a vision board for 6 months, for 5 years of where you want to be. Again, it's personal to you. So I've done it for this year of where I want to be by my next birthday, but I could have quite easily done two, one for the first 6 months and one for the next 6 months. There are so many different ways of doing it. It's however it best suits you. If you know what you're visualizing, what you're manifesting is going to take longer than a year, make your vision board expand to that and make it like your 5-year plan. So now I want to talk you through what I've put on my vision board this year. So this is my 2025 vision board. I've gone all out, lots of cutting and sticking, as you'll have seen in the video. What I've done is I've highlighted my goals in pink, and then I've added action points of how I want to achieve. So another one of my goals, and although I'm not overly focused on weight, I do want to just be the healthiest version of me. I would ideally, with setting this goal and being measurable and specific, I do want to try and lose another stone. So that's one of the goals. My other one is to get fit, even fitter, because I'm fit in some ways, but not necessarily running, and I want to be able to run 5 to 10k. Now, with my knee injury from years ago, that's a bit harder, so I do it on the treadmill, but I've already started that by doing 2 runs a week and building it gradually with interval training of running and walking. I do love looking after my hair, and I really want it to be a good hair year, and I'm growing my hair out this year, and my goal is not to cut it off like I normally do. So yeah, we're going to be taking my hair and energy supplements from JS Health and curling my hair and look after it with all the products I've always used for my hairdressers. My skincare, obviously I'm getting a little bit older. I was 33 yesterday, and I just want my skin to stay in the best condition it can. Since Christmas I've been so good at sticking to my morning and evening skincare routine and fitting it in around my day and making it a priority, and actually my skin's feeling so much better, and I've already had lots of compliments on it. So these are the healthiest version of me and how I'm going to make that happen. So just thought I'd mention that again. The next thing I want to do is make this year a good year of sleep. I want at least 7 hours a night. I want to set a new rule that I'm in bed by 9:30, which we are most nights anyway, between 9 and 10. But no screens after 9:30 for definite. I'm a nightmare for sitting and scrolling on my phone. And I do think that really affects my sleep. So definitely going to be focusing on that. I've already got a sleep spray. I'm not great at putting it on every night, but I do know the nights I put it on my pillow, it's a White Company one, I think, I definitely sleep better. And I'm going to look into having some magnesium as well, because I do tend to wake and rile in the night quite a lot. So I want to try and get a more consistent sleep. One of my new goals is to read 3 books, and I'm going to do that by reading in bed on an evening as well. And I do love my early morning wake up. My alarm goes off at 5. I aim to be out of bed by 5:30 so I can get a workout done before the kids wake up. Linking to that, so the book club stuff, I do want to read 3 books this year. Reading's not ever really been a big strength of mine, in the fact that I can obviously read, but I don't sit and read a book. So I want to do that, and I have downloaded a couple of audiobooks as well to have on in the car rather than just singing along, which I do enjoy doing, but sometimes it's nice to have a bit of a change. One thing off my last year's vision board, the calmer version of me, the less stressed, that's still something I want to work on, and I'm going to be doing that through, again, the books I'm reading. So I'm going to be reading Atomic Habits and Manifest. So I'm going to read those to help with that, listening to podcasts to help with this as well. And then another thing that will help with my mood, but also improve my flexibility, because one of my targets is to be able to touch my toes, is doing Pilates and yoga every week. So I've started going to a Pilates class at the gym on a Monday, and I'm going to start using Apple Fitness yoga sessions twice a week as well. I don't do much with star signs. I'm not one that looks into it loads, and I got really confused when they changed the star signs, and I was an Aquarius and now I'm a Capricorn. But it made me smile because it said that you're going to be just be your weird and wacky self. And I think sometimes I am a very loud person, and my family and friends that know me know that, but I try not to show that so much. So I want to just be authentically me, and if that is loud and wacky, then people are going to have to use to it, because I'm being me. Next one then, we're going to move over to the business side of it now. My goals for my Emma Danielle Fitness. Okay, so we'll start over here, is just continue to helping women feel the best they can be. For me, the business is holistic. It's not just about fitness. I want them to feel good. I want them to enjoy the workouts, feel uplifted, but also help them with this, because it is definitely 80% diet and 20% exercise. And we want to be looking at eating smart. And I want to continue to build my knowledge, not just in a nutrition based on weight loss, but nutrition based on gut health and just being the healthiest version you can be. Okay, so we'll be looking more into that in the business. This year I want to go up to at least 40 group coaching clients. That'd be really good. And I want to complete a wellness training that I've paid for already. So I want to get that done. Again, linking to that holistic side of it. I'm a big planner and prepper, and I like to have lists, and I want to continue to do that this year and make sure I've got 4 new blocks planned for the whole of the year. So we keep developing the business, look at developing a summer prep program, sharing at least 2 recipes a week. Obviously we've got 2 weekly check-ins with my clients. And then a big part of it this year for me is going to be my content, and making sure that it's quality content and it's meaningful and helpful and not just wasted. But also to try and build, one of my targets is to try and build up to 5,000 followers. We're not even quite at 500 yet, but that is a big aim. But I'll be doing it again through meaningful and helpful content. We're going to continue to build the YouTube channel, which you guys are on now, and my Instagram. We're going to be doing loads of things between the podcast, the family fitness, the workouts, the mini vlogs, technique Thursdays with all about your exercise technique, and basically keeping it about realistic and about me too, so my journey. So that's kind of where the business is going with so far, and I'm really enjoying it and really motivated. And then just some of the little bits. Oh, this links to being the healthiest version of me. I want to be the strongest version of me too. I'm going to be going to the gym twice a week. I want to start to lift heavier this year, but I also want to be strong-minded and strong-willed as well, and stick to my guns. And then as a family, I want to book loads more days out and have enjoyable days out with the kids. We definitely want to try and get to Lapland UK this year. We're going to try Drayton Manor on one of their teacher training days, and we're going to Legoland in Feb half term. So that's just some of them. We're going to try and get to the seaside a lot more, just being with them and making more memories, even if it's just at home, but just quality time as a family. And then the last bit then is, obviously I've said about being the healthiest version of myself and losing the weight, but my overall goal in all of this is I want my body to be functional, and that means keeping up with my kids, Francesca and Freddie, being able to run around and play with them, carry them when they want to be carried. I also want to continue to improve my pelvic floor and my prolapse, and I just want to prepare for my old lady body. So as I get older, I want to be the strongest version of myself so I can continue to do everything I want to do. So there it is. I've shared with you my vision board. So I just want to finish with a couple of closing thoughts. For me, a vision board is an amazing manifestation tool. Even if you don't interact with it every day, it's just having it there keeps your goals present in your mind. Mine is up on the mirror in my office. You can actually see it just behind me. And I always glance at it whenever I'm in my office. If you've been thinking about starting a vision board but haven't started yet, I really hope this has given you some inspiration and some ideas of where to get started. And if you've already made one, I'd love to know what's on your vision board. Can you let me know in the comments or drop me a message on Instagram? If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and check back for more content to build a healthy, happy and empowered life. See you next time. Thanks guys.